I think I get what you mean by that. So one of the things that was also described in the book is fears that people have was described in the book, especially in the particular one that you were co-authoring with people there. And I started thinking about it. Aside the relationship part of it, what other fears did you had in your journey here?
So for me, this is so funny. Most people have fear of failure, and that's a big deal, and that has to do with whatever goals or whatever expectations you have for yourself. But there's also the fear of success, right? Especially, say for me, in the last, I would say, last year and a half, a lot of things have shifted for me, right? With keynote speaking, um, I love more of the entertainment side. So when things start, all the time you're like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? And then when people start calling you, it tends to be overwhelming at times. And then you start to question, do I really want this? Do I really love this? Is this where is this my going to be my life? So I would say for me, especially yeah, recently, it has been a fear of success to a certain degree. And some people might be like, well, that's dumb. But it's not dumb, and it would only be dumb to you if you haven't ha- I would say if you haven't had I have high expectations of myself. I am a hardcore when it comes to goals. Like I'm the person that have to pause and celebrate. Otherwise, as soon as I reach this goal, I'm like, okay, that was great, I did it. So the next goal is right. So I'm someone that, since I'm so goal oriented and I'm 120, I'm like, people who do 100 is just average to me. So I'm like the opposite. That's why I say with the multi-talented part, it's good. People say jack of all trades, a master of none. I have mastered all, right? And you don't hear that often. That's why I'm like, I'm not the typical. And even though that might sound cool, it can be a hindrance, because then you're doing too much. And if someone says, if you have too much to do, that means you're doing too much, and then you're not focused. And we as humans are not supposed to multitask. We can at times, but it's not a positive, because you're not focused really on anything, and you're kind of all over. So I think my fear is success in me being multi-talented could be a hindrance, and could be a negative in some ways, and me not being able to celebrate my wins. I keep want to win. I want to keep winning.
Hmm.
So I need to be able to slow down and pause a little, enjoy the moments, get excited, and still take time out for myself and relax.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that. Taking time for yourself and relax. But then after you relax, you want to keep firing. You want to achieve
Of
the next
course.
thing and things
We
like
we
that.
were put on this earth to keep growing, not put on the earth to die just like that. Like, what, how much they always say, what legacy you want to leave behind. Think about it. Michael Jackson been gone since 2009, right? And he's still living on. There's always a music, there's always a show, there's a movie. Kids who are 5 know Michael Jackson songs. Like, that's a legacy. And
Hmm.
I don't, you don't want to, like, people, Oprah always says people want to feel like they matter. They want to feel like they matter in the moment, but it would be nice that if you leave this earth, people don't only remember you on your birthday, right? You should come up in conversations. You should come up when people are thinking about new goals. Remember when Patrice used to do this? Remember when Patrice taught us this? Like, some sort of legacy. So I think you should be here to constantly learn, constantly grow, even pivot at times. Like, people always say, well, I'm supposed to do this. But then life happens, and maybe it's the stuff that you learned before in whatever goal you forging ahead with. Maybe you were supposed to pivot, take those things you learned, and add it to the new pivot, or wherever life sometimes shapes you.
Yeah. Wow. Legacy, leaving something behind. And there's a part of the book that says the value of lifting others as you rise and the impact that one person's belief in you has on your entire trajectory. I think that's why you keep saying, "Oh, Michael Jackson and things like that." Even 5 year can feel the impact because that's how they feel about the impact that he made and is still making, even though it's no more here.
Yeah.
And it seems that people who are able to achieve that, they do things very differently from the general population, right?
Yes. And you know what sucks about those things? That we are the ones when you do things different, you're the weirdo, you're the crazy one, you're the
Yeah,
not normal one. So I get a lot of that.
yeah. Because at the point you're doing that, people are like, "Yeah, there's something's wrong with this person." That's what,
Yeah, so believe me, my nickname was crazy, right?
but
But I embraced it. I'm not like, don't call me crazy. I'll be crazy. Like, people don't like people who are different. Like, even simple as Toastmasters, like, what my presentation is not typical Toastmasters. I follow the rules, but it's more engaging. It's for people to respond to you. A lot of time in Toastmasters, and I have nothing against Toastmasters. I love Toastmasters. I'm a Toastmasters for life, right? Because
yeah,
I feel like they were my foundation. But sometimes people we need to change. This is not 100 years ago. It's not 1920 something whenever Toastmasters first started, right? And even though I followed the rules, they want everything to look this way,
mhm,
right? People, sometimes people are not ready for a female who have no hair on her head with an accent from a
yeah,
tiny island with 1.5 million people. They want to know. They want to see what they think is typical.
yeah,
Maybe I need to be white with blue eyes. My hair needs to be this length, blonde. Like anything different, it makes people uncomfortable. I don't fully understand why, because I embrace things that are different. I get excited to learn about things that are different. But I don't know, maybe I have no response for that part.
wow, wow. That's a very important point you made. Like people just don't like seeing something that is very different from what they expect, and if they see something that is very different, most people will question it and trying to think, put it in a box that is very
Yeah.
different, and things like that.
They want
But
everybody to just walk in one boring straight line, wear one typical color, like we just chanting in one big group. And then when someone says scream out, they're like, oh my God, what's going on? Something's wrong. She's possessed. I mean, even when I looked up history, I read a lot, like a lot. I think that's a problem, right? That's my biggest vice. But when you think back in history, when the guy the guy who invented the radio, they put him in like a mental institute because he said he could hear things through, the walls. With like when you look back from the Einstein, from the Mozarts, they're all the strange people. And they're the ones that make huge, significant changes in the world we live in today.